Welcome to Board Game Casual and part 2 of my Game Market West coverage. If you haven't checked out part 1 yet and you're wondering what Game Market West is, be sure to check that video out first. I've got the link down in the description, and trust me, you don't want to miss those games. With that, let's pick up where we left off here in part 2.
Hey, this is Brendan Fong. This is We Need to Talk. I think we need to have a talk. We Need to Talk is a trick-taking and a shedding game about a breakup. In the first round, it's going to be a trick-taking game in which if someone plays a blue card, everyone's going to play a blue card. Highest card is going to win the trick. You're going to take that trick and you're going to place it in your memory bank. If someone plays a 2 or a 5, a 2 allows someone to steal a card from that trick before it gets taken away. A 5 is going to allow you to choose from a shared memory area. So essentially what's going to happen is everyone's going to have a different size hand at the end of phase 1. Why? Because after phase 1, unfortunately, there's a horrible breakup that happens, and it turns into a shedding game in which you're trying to get rid of as many memories that you built as possible. That's going to be done in this section right here. Phase 1 or phase 2, you're going to have melds from 1 to 5 cards. It could be suited straights, it could be all the numbers the same, or it could be unsuited straights. Now, if you play essentially, when you're playing your melds, the next meld has to be more powerful than previous. However, if you look at these suits right here, you've got a suit that's their affection towards each other, trips they took around the world together, things they did around the house, meals they had together, and unfortunately, awkward moments. Awkward moments going to be moments like, I don't know, that time that he would not get off his phone, the moment that she was late, times when he may have been a little too intoxicated. Anytime someone plays an awkward moment card in a meld, this little ear right here gets flipped upside down, which means the next meld has to be weaker, not stronger. Why is that? Because everyone knows during a breakup, things get turned upside down. In the end, when someone gets rid of all their cards, everyone else has a memory still left in their hand is going to gain a point. We want the lowest amount of points possible. Why? Because you want to get rid of all that baggage. You can look us up on BGG. You can also, it is now officially on sale online around the world in Belgium, UK, and Brazil. You can find it at Tricky Imports, and you can find it at PGC soon.
Hi, my name is Alexander Shen. Most of you know me online as Shenbot Makes, and welcome to my table on the games that I have here. We'll run through them really quick. We'll start on this side. We have a game called Bag of Wording, which is a mix of Mad Libs and basically a word game where you fight monsters based on the different words that you put down, scoring different points for different letters. The next one we have here is called And My Tax. It was a game that ultimately I felt like I had to make because of this joke. And it is a game where you're a monster collecting tax from other monsters in a dungeon. Dice rolling, single player, dice assignment, uses all the different dice that you have to collect as many coins as you can from different monsters, discarding them, re-exhausting or exhausting dice. This is the newest game that just came out today in physical form called Dungeon Post. This one is you take the role of a postal worker who works in the dungeon where you have to deliver 3 packages to recipients through 3 different dungeons. And it's a balance of which dice do I use, how do I exhaust or rest my different dice, how do I sign my dice to try to get as much progress as possible against the different dungeons, such as a hard cheese, a bucket helm, all different types of strategies to use to make sure you don't exhaust all your dice too early or that's very punishing from the dungeon. Over here we have something called a save state deck. If you're like me, you eat your food on the kitchen table, but also play your games on the kitchen table, and it allows you to save the state of your game, such as your draw deck, your trash pile, your hand, across 5 different players. So when you put it away, you can pull it back out and have exactly what it is, and no one can say like, oh, I actually had 2 aces. And the last one is Blankout, one of my first games, is a Tetronimo roll and write game. Very simple D6, quick to play, and yeah, it's easy going. If you're curious about where to find any of the games, you can definitely go to shenbotmakes.com. All of these games are print and play, and all the print and plays are free. So definitely go check it out. Thanks for playing.
Hi, my name is Nick Badliaka, and I am a game designer from Santa Cruz, California, and these are my games. The first one here is a licensed game based on the Rob Zombie film House of a Thousand Corpses. It came out in 2003, just had its 20th anniversary. And in this game, you are cooperatively playing as the Firefly family some murderous psychopaths that live in the backwoods of Texas and like to kill and dismember teenagers who land on their doorstep. It's not for children. It's a 17 and up game, but you're going to use this action system right here to take your actions, which is kind of the core of the game. You've got adrenaline to spend as currency and a chain that will slowly slide down, make the actions you just used more expensive. So you're managing this puzzle as you're trying to hunt down and kill kids to get to the end of this blood meter. So that's House of a Thousand Corpses. This is Blood Orders. This was my first published design, also by Trick or Treat Studios. And in this game, you are formerly disgraced vampires that are trying to get back on their feet and reestablish a coven of their own. And it is hidden programming worker placement. So you are going to be behind your screen over here, choosing which actions and places you want to go during the day, dusk, and night phases, and then executing those actions one at a time with partial information for each of the players. So you'll be telegraphing what row you're going to be going into, but not necessarily which action you're taking in that row. So there's a lot of double think, there's a lot of guessing and bidding between players over what actually ends up happening for real. This game is available along with House of a Thousand Corpses on trickortreatstudios.com.
Hey, I'm from Desi Board Games, and this is our first game called Desi Feud, which is a twist on a South Asian style game show. We wanted to try to have popular questions and had the top 6 answers ranked, and then we have them on a survey. So these are some of the themes that we have. Some of them are food related, some of them are events related, some of them are just culture based, some of them are sports related or Bollywood related. And it's super quick and easy for different age groups, from 8 to 80. This is our next board game that's called Raja Mantri Chor Sipahi. This is a bit of strategy and bluffing. The goal is to get the 20 gold coins first. You have different character cards here, and it tells you what abilities you have to either steal or take gold from each player. And then the third one that's coming out is Cricket Champions. We just got successfully funded on Kickstarter, and the goal is to try and get this out soon in May at all the board game stores, and we are going to be online on Etsy and Amazon for sales. We're also available at some game stores in South Bay, and follow us on Desi Board Games on our Insta page.
Hello, my name's Gabriel, and I've been designing games really since I was a kid. This is Under a Hostile Sun. It's a tabletop RPG system. What other RPGs do with combat, we do with exploration. We give that level of detail to exploring these environments. Each stat mines the resource below it. Players use these beads to track how many resources they have, and they have to use those resources to solve the colony's problems. So a lot of teamwork, a lot of racing against the clock. It's a very exciting time. And if you would like to get the game, it's at Drive-Thru RPG. It's at itch.io. Just search for Under a Hostile Sun on Drive-Thru RPG and it will come up.
Hi, my name is Alexa. I'm the founder of Pumptown. It's a fast-paced card game where memory meets cunning. Players try to keep their scores low through 10 thrilling rounds. Numbered cards are from 0 to 12, but we also introduce a little bit of chaos with pump cards. So pump cards can either attack players or they can protect you from other attackers. It's great for all ages. I can play with kids as young as 5, people as old as 99. It's really great for everyone, and it becomes more and more competitive as the game goes on. You can gang up on other people, you can protect yourself. You don't want to seem like too much of a threat, but you also don't want to fall too far behind. So it's a fun mix of strategy. It has a little bit of luck, but it's mostly about group dynamics and deciding who you want to win and who you want to attack. You can get the game at pumptowncardgame.com. You can check it out there. And I have all the information and the rules on the website as well.
Hi everyone, I'm Yves Bouvier. This is my game. It's called Matcha. So it's a memory game. It takes about 10 minutes to play, 2 minutes to learn it. The way it works is you are trying to find a full set of chips. So the chips go from 1 to 6, or you're trying to find 3 identical chips. There's 18 chips, there's 3 sets, so there's three of each. The way it works is 1 chip visible at all time. And when you start your turn, you are trying to find either a run, a match, or a skip. So you will just flip 2 chips and checking if you have any of those. So if you have a run, you will just collect 1 chip from the board, and you will continue to play. So you will remove that chip and you get to flip one more. If you find a match, you have to collect one from the board and you can steal one from your opponent. So if your opponent has a chip, you can just take it from them. And then you end your turn. The last possibility is to find a skip. So there's only two of them, from 1-3-5 or 2-4-6. If you find those, it's great. So you get to collect one from the board, you steal one from your opponent, and you get to play one more time. So that's the best one to get, and it's the hardest one to get. There's only two of them. And if you don't find anything, like for example here, you would just move the ring onto another chip and flip everything back up. And that's the end of your turn. And the other opponent gets to play. I have 3 different games. So those two are really the same kind of games. They just look different. So if you are into light or into dark matcha, that's your choice. And there's a pocket version as well. So the pocket version just has everything the same. It just takes less space, and it's a stainless steel instead of being pocket chips. And yeah, you can carry it around with you. And if you're interested, you can find it on my website, playmatcha.com. You can find the game there. You can find where to play it within the Bay Area as well, if you happen to be around. And yeah, that's about it. Thank you so much for checking it out.
Hi, my name is Andrew DeLulo, local board game designer in the Bay Area, and here at Game Market West, I have 2 games with me today. A brand new game, Tundra Tussle, and a returning classic, Every Last Crumb. Starting with Tundra Tussle, this is a game about woodland animals celebrating the start of winter with a friendly snowball fight. Bulk of the game is going to be playing as one of the various animals that comes with the game, moving around the board to roll up snowballs and trying to hit your opponents by running your snowballs into them or throwing them across the map. First person to get 6 hits or 6 points is the winner. Every Last Crumb is a game about playing as children sitting down to a dinner table in which your caretaker has made way too much food, and they're expecting you to finish it all. Unreasonable. But if you all work together, you might be able to find a way to finish off Every Last Crumb. This is a push your luck dice rolling game where you're going to take as much food as you think you can handle from a central table full of delicious dishes. After you've taken as much as you can handle, you're going to roll 5 dice to see how well you actually eat them. If everything goes well, food will go to your stomach without any problems. If you do super well, you will skip the stomach and digest it right away, just like in real life. But if you don't roll well or you take too much food, you might get bogged down with stomach aches. And if it happens enough, you might fall into a terrible food coma, ending the game for you and your friends. If you all pool your resources together and strategize and work together, you can clear a mountain of food made for absolutely no one.
Greetings. My name is Eli. I'm the creator of Scattered Nexus. Scattered Nexus is a battle-style card game based on a growing list of indie comics. Each box has 6 comics in it. Each year, I make a new box featuring 6 new comics, on my way to featuring 90 comics total. To play the game, you just pick 3 comics, shuffle them together to make your deck, and then you battle your opponent. It uses life decking. You're trying to damage your opponent's deck till they don't have a deck left. You try to do that to them before they do it to you. Everything you need is in the box. You don't need tokens, dice, or counters. And yeah, it's fun. It's going to be an ongoing project. You can find my game on the site, getscatterednexus.com, but we also have a campaign going on BackerKit, where we're featuring 6 new comics for our 4th new box for 2025. Yeah, so go over there, show your support, and we got a lot of good goodies for anyone who's supporting us on it.
Hello, my name is Michael Ott. These are my games. I make them, I've designed them all, and I make them in my garage in Arnold, which is in the Sierra foothills, about 2 hours from Sacramento. So over here is a very in-your-face type game. Everyone starts with a frame, which has space for 4 tiles. What you're trying to do is collect tiles so that you match all corners, and then you slide to the center array. The way you get those tiles is 2 ways. One, on your turn, you either draw 2 tiles and hope you get the tiles you want, or if your opponent has the tile you want, you reach over and you swipe it from them to slide in the middle. So it's a very tactical, paying very close attention both to what other tiles your opponents have, as well as where you want to place in the center array. This is 2 to 4 players, and it's about 20 to 25 minutes to play. Brickwerx
is a little more cerebral, 2-player game. Each player has a small pile of bricks, and you are mutually working on a 3x3 Brickwerx tower. What you're trying to do is be the one to complete the level, but since you can see what the other player has, you never want to set the other player up to complete a level. For example, this player would never place here, because then the next player could simply take the level that way. So on your turn, you either place a brick, or you roll the die to collect more bricks, or trade a brick, pick the brick you want, or my favorite is steal a brick from the other player. Again, 2 players, this is about 15 to 20 minutes to play. Hexinos, you can think of it as 6-sided dominoes, but with a twist on the scoring. If you match a single edge, you simply score the number of points as the number of dots. So this is a 3-point match, not very impressive, but if you match 2 edges, you take the number of dots and you multiply times 2. So this is 7 times 2, it's a 14-point match. Match 3 edges, you simply take the number of dots times 3, that's a 33-point match. So you can go from dead last to a commanding lead with 1 well-placed tile. You always have 2 tiles in your hand, so you're plotting and scheming as to where you're going to place next. And since you don't know what the other players have, you can't intentionally screw them. But my favorite part of the game is when I place a tile, score big, and the player to my left says, "Ah, that's where I wanted to go." Next up is my OG, Bricks and Brutes. Everyone starts with one of 6 unique castle wall plans. Whoever builds their castle wall to their plan first wins the game. To do that, you need masons. If you have 1 mason on your turn, you move 1 brick to your wall. If you have 2 masons, you can move 2 bricks to your wall. So more masons is good, but you also need brutes. The brutes help you in 2 ways. First, if you roll the brute, you can use your brute to try to steal bricks from the other players. They will not like that, so when they roll the dragon and send it after you, if you have a sacrificial brute, the dragon will eat your brute. If you do not have a sacrificial brute, the dragon will eat your mason. Now you can't move any bricks to your wall until you collect enough gold to hire a new mason. And finally, there is the queen. When someone rolls the queen, it means she's changed her mind about how she wants her castle to look. So everybody takes their unique castle wall plan and passes it to the next player. So you could be 1 brick away from winning, and the queen is rolled.
Hey, Cardboard RJ here. A huge apology to Michael. During our shoot, my camera started overheating, and I lost a bigger chunk of some of the middle footage than I had originally thought. I like to think my camera couldn't comprehend that Michael was hand-making all of these games in his garage. So I'm going to do my best to quickly cover the game we lost. Runaway, an easy-to-learn, fast-moving dice game where everyone is trying to be the first to wake up their 5 sleeping campers and get them to run away from the approaching hungry bear. You can play nice, focusing on just your campers, or you can bonk your opponent's campers back to sleep before they can run away. It plays 2 to 8 players and takes 15 to 20 minutes each round. Then we moved on to the final game he was showing here, Bricks in a Box, which is like 3D Tetris. Back to Michael.
Each player starts with half a box. The first person to fill their half a box with these bricks, with no air gaps and nothing sticking out, takes the lid and says box. Then everybody carefully pours out their bricks and scores. And the scoring is based on these 3 dice. These dice are rolled to start the round. So for example, if I roll a 4, a 5, and a 1, for this round, every black brick I have in my half a box is worth 5, every red brick is worth 4, and every little white brick is worth 1. I have a website, nanolocitygames.com, and I'm also in a whole variety of craft fairs in the Gold Country.
Hi there, hi, I'm Ava.
I'm Diana.
And we are Wabi
Blobi.
Wabi Blobi is a cozy, creative doodling and storytelling game.
It has 3 components, so you begin with doodling, and then move on to storytelling, and then there's a question card piece as well. It's all meant to spark a creative connection through artistic play.
Yeah, so you get the doodle cards, and you just doodle what you see, and you pass it to your friend, and she will doodle on top of your doodles. And by the time you're done, you have a very creative, unique masterpiece. You can stop there, or you can send it off as a postcard to a friend or loved one. You can even do half and get the other person to finish it for you. We want to inspire over-functioning adults to play.
Learn more about us on Instagram at PlayWabiBlobi. We're also launching a Kickstarter, so please visit our website to learn more.
All right, so I'm Johnny Chin. I'm the organizer of Game Market West, and I wanted to introduce my game today called Tag Your It. So in Tag Your It, there's going to be many runners and one tagger. And so essentially what you'll be doing throughout the game is that you'll be programming, as you can see here, everyone will put their cards face down. And then when everyone's done doing that, they'll reveal them one at a time. And they'll move to an adjacent space that is next to them. And if they do so successfully, and that's also the next space on the score track, then they will also score that space. In this case, it wasn't, but let's say, for example, I was here, then I would score this space as well as this teal player. Now, that's as runners. For taggers, you're really trying to essentially intercept these runners because they don't score until you become a runner again. So when I am able to tag someone else, you will swap roles and essentially you will become a runner and this person will become the tagger. And that's effectively how the game is played. Whoever is highest up on the score track at the end of the game is the winner. People can find my game on BGG, and I'll be selling copies on there if you wanted to DM me, or they'll be in the Geek Market as well. And of course, as the organizer, they'll be at the next Game Market. Thanks.
Hi, I'm John Brieger. I run Brieger Creative. We're a board game development studio based in Sunnyvale, California. And I work with publishers to help turn prototypes into great games. We are mostly behind the scenes, but it's been super awesome just to see the indie game scene in the Bay Area turn out today. I work a lot with our Golden Gate Game Makers, which is our local game designer guild, and seeing so many games that came through that playtesting process here today for sale, like that really warms my heart as a creator and really shows the strength of the Bay Area talent. And for me, one of the biggest things for Golden Gate Game Makers is we want everyone all across the country to think, where are the best games in America made? They're here in San Francisco Bay Area. People can find more about our work on briegercreative.com or boardgamedevelopment.com. It goes to the same place.
Now, I did my absolute best to film each booth, but man, the event was over before I knew it, and some of the booths were just busy all day, so I know I didn't get to talk to everyone. I believe these were the games that I missed. Nevermind the Distraction by AJ Plank is a relaxing, abstract, solitaire card game inspired by the principles of meditation and mindfulness. Calm your mind and learn valuable mental health skills while you play. Learn more about this game at zentrovertgames.com. Empower Empathy by Angel Leong. This is a collaborative game to help children develop emotional awareness and empathy with a positive growth mindset by transforming them into superheroes with superpowers that can resolve any social dilemma. Learn more at mytinysprouts.com. Spicy Dice by Andy Daniel. This is a fast-paced strategic dice game with a fun twist. Each die has a unique red-numbered spicy side that can be flipped for strategy or kept for double points. Perfect for teens, adults, and families, you can check out Spicy Dice on Amazon or at spicydice.com. Goyangii was there showcasing her wonderful art, so be sure to check out her site, goyangii.com, that's with 2 I's, and her Etsy shop as well. A big thank you to all of the designers and the folks who took time out from a very busy event to talk to me about their games, and apologies to anyone I missed. Thank you to Jason and Mark from the Misplay podcast, John from Brieger Creative, and especially to Johnny Chin for organizing such a great event. Now there's still more to come in the wrap-up video, where I'll talk about my experience and reflect on the event as a whole. I'll talk a bit more about the games, show you the awards I handed out, maybe talk about my camera troubles and what I do differently next time. And I'll show you all of the fun stuff I came home with, so stay tuned for that. In the meantime, thank you for watching, liking, and subscribing. But more importantly, please do me a favor. Do independent designers a favor and go check out these games. You can go back to any of the interview segments in either part 1 or part 2 to see their contact info, or you can check out GameMarketWest.com for more information on all the games shown. See you in the wrap-up video here on Board Game Casual.